Okay, so today's lesson is on graphing lines from y equals mx plus b form. So this y equals mx plus b is also known as slope intercept form. Okay, and the reason we call it slope intercept form is because the two main components of it are the m, which is your slope. Okay, that's the number that's multiplied times the x. And then the b, which is the y-intercept. That's where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so let's look at this first one together. The first one, it says y equals 1/3 x minus 3. And so we look here first. This is our y-intercept, okay? And so that -3 tells me that I need to go down 3 and make a dot. Then we look to the slope. So what the slope is this 1/3. And we remember slope is rise over run. So it means that we're going to rise 1 unit for every 3 that we run to the right. So from this y-intercept that we've graphed, we can go up 1 and right 3. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Okay, so we went up 1, right 3, and then we can have a line through those 2 points. And that's all we're doing today. Okay, so let's practice a few more examples because some of them are going to look a little bit different and be a little bit tricky. This next one is a good example of that. We have a y-intercept of +1, so we go up 1 on the y-axis. But then the slope is a little bit confusing. You know, you look at your x here, and there's a negative in front of it, but there's no number there. And so we need to realize that anytime we see an x with no number in front of it, we assume there's a 1 there, right? It's how many x's is it? It's not 2, it's not 3, it's 1 because they didn't specify how many. Okay, and so in this case, it's actually -1. So when you think about -1 as a fraction, that's really -1 over +1. So our rise is to go down 1, and then our run is to go right 1. And that's going to be our line. Okay. Moving down the page a little bit here. We should talk about number 4 for sure. So our y-intercept is 5 again. Make a dot there. This is my slope, -5/2. Well, it looks like the negative just applies to the fraction bar, kind of, right? It doesn't really go with the 5 or the 2. We just need to pick one. So if I say -5 over +2, then that means I need to go down 5, which takes me back to 0, 0, and then right 2, which is that point right there, okay? And so then I can graph it with my line through it. Pretty simple. All right, let's go to the back of the notes here and see what's left to talk about. We have 5 where it's x equals 1. Okay, so this is a tricky one because it looks very different from what we've been seeing. But think about it this way. You know, ordered pairs are like x, comma, y. And so when x equals 1, we're saying 1, comma, some number. So let's say like 1, comma 2. The x is that 1. So it could be like 1, comma 4 or 1, comma -3. All of those have an x value of 1, just like that equation suggests they will. So if I go right 1 and up 2, make a dot, or I go right 1 and up 4 and make a dot, or I go right 1 and down 3 and make a dot, notice how those are all on the same vertical line. So that's what our graph is going to look like. Okay, so anytime you see x equals a number, it's going to be a vertical line through that number on the x-axis. Okay, so then skip down to number 9. It's a similar thing. We have y equals 3 this time instead of x equals. So what it means is that in my xy pairs, it's going to be like 0, 3, or 1, 3, or -2, 3. So where are those points graphed? 0, 3 is up 3 units. 1, 3 is over 1, up 3. -2, up 3. So what you're going to end up with is a horizontal line that crosses the y-axis at 3, just like it says it will.